Awesome.
Yes.
Hello Facebook and good evening. At 7 p.m. Queensland time, we are at head office and we are doing a segment of Let's Talk About Ice. Guys, this show is about awareness and about education. And if I'm speaking to you and you've tapped into the show, I ask you to share this post and to share this video on your Facebook page, because you don't know who you're going to help. You don't know who's going through addiction or has a family member that's suffering through addiction and they don't know where to get help. And we are here to help. So I'm asking you tonight to early on in the show to please share this post, share this video on your Facebook page, and ask your friends to share it, because you don't know who needs to hear this message tonight. It is a message of awareness and education in relation to the drug ice, many times other drugs as well. We're talking about addiction. We are talking about ice here on the show tonight. Let's Talk About Ice live in Queensland, but we are a national organisation and we have teams all over Australia that are ready to help our greater community. So welcome to the show tonight. I'm Andrea, I'm your host, and on the show tonight we have a very special guest. I don't know a lot about Matt. We met not too long ago, and I'm really looking forward to hearing his story. I have a brief idea, but to hearing his full story. So, it is something that is difficult to do, to come out on the show and to share your experience and your heart with what happened through your journey, because nobody likes to air their dirty laundry. It's the past, it's what's happened, and it wasn't a fun experience. Like most of you know my story. It's not something that you want to go and advertise around, but we do this in hope that somebody that may be in early stages wanting to pick up drugs or contemplating that lifestyle, that they can get some insight into that kind of lifestyle. And when you understand the consequences associated with that, not only short-term but long-term, we hope that you make better choices for yourself. And that's why we do what we do. Before we get into the show, I just have to do a couple of shout-outs and a couple of reminders for things, yeah? So I'm going to do a shout-out to the Cairns Colonial Club. They're sponsoring our accommodation for a night in Cairns when we're going out to do the Cairns Community Forum. So thank you so much. The Cairns Colonial Club, I don't know what that says, but thank you so much for sponsoring our accommodation. We are coming out to do a community forum in order to educate the community on the dangers of ice and to help leave some sustainable solutions for that community in terms of moving forward and helping people into recovery. So we're looking forward to that. That community forum is being held, Mareeba Community Forum, on the 10th of, here we go, Hippocampus, on the 10th of this month, so that's next week, on the Wednesday, I think, yes, at 7 p.m. And that's being held. Leanne, where's that being held? Can you put up the details of where that's going to be held?
Certainly.
Awesome, Leanne. We'll put up the details. So if you're in Cairns, you're in Mareeba, it's not too far away. It's 45 minutes travel from Cairns City. I really put it out there. Come and say hi. Come and unite with us in the fight against ice. In Cairns, we are there to educate, raise awareness, but also integrate with the community and help the community with some resources in relation to how they can help somebody out of addiction. Yeah, so we will be there on the 10th and having a community forum. Look forward to meeting you all. So come down. And in South Australia, we have Sparkle with Suzette on the 10th of November. So if you're in South Australia, they are doing a fundraiser called Sparkle with Suzette. You can find all the details about these events, by the way, on our Facebook events page, or you can go onto our website, which is www.australianantiicecampaign.org.au. We are also partnering up with University of South Australia to do a study. So to do this particular study on our education program and what we deliver, we need to educate 20,000 kids. That's going to take some funding, and we have launched a fundraising campaign that you can be a part of. So if you go onto my webpage, my Facebook page or AIS's Facebook page, you'll see a link there on how you can get involved and how you can do a crowd raiser fundraising page for yourself, and you can involve all your friends, and together we can actually achieve more quicker. Every day counts. You know, we have youth as young as 8 up in Cairns and even 11 here in Queensland on the Gold Coast embarking in addiction, and we want to get in front of those kids today, yesterday. How early is it good to do prevention? Well, as early as need be. I'd be going, my kids are older now, but I'd be educating in grade 6 if it was my choice, and we have been into some primary schools into grade 6, and it's been very successful. So we want you to unite with us in the fight against ICE. So if you might be able to do a crowd raiser for your workplace or your friends, and that will help us educate more kids. So every $10 helps us educate one youth, and it's all tax deductible because we are a charity, DGR charity and not-for-profit organisation. So I also need to promote the raffle tickets in Melbourne. We still have raffle tickets available for Melbourne. There are amazing prizes. We've got trips and holidays, and there's a list of like over 30 prizes. So we will be putting up a post if you haven't seen it yet. Otherwise, contact our Melbourne office or send us a message on Facebook and we'll let you know all about it. Still some tickets available, and we can't draw that until we've sold all the tickets. So come on, Melbourne guys, we need you to get involved. It's $25 a ticket, but there's about 30 prizes, including 3 holidays, I believe. So need you to a dinner cruise on the river for 6, the wine tour to Mornington Peninsula, overnight cruise for 2 on the Sydney Harbour. So there's a lot of really amazing prizes. And I'm just doing a shout out for you to get involved. So $25 is not a lot, helps us educate more kids, and you get to win something. So I didn't have my t-shirt on today. I didn't get time to get changed, but don't forget your t-shirt. You can purchase them on our website, and all the profits from these t-shirts go back to help us educate youth on the dangers of ice and other drugs. So they're available on our webpage, www.australianantiicecampaign.org.au, and there's a couple of other small things there that you can purchase. Our little wristbands like that, the EP, and a couple of books. But we will be launching our new brand soon, so I'm so excited about that brand, and keep an eye out on that page on our shop. Okay, but I'm sure I'll let you know about it. So once again, if you please, I'm asking you, if you're listening to this podcast, if you're listening to this show tonight, I'm asking you to share this on your actual page so that we can help a greater community. That's the purpose of it. We don't make anything from this. We're talking directly to families that have loved ones in addiction, or if you are that person in addiction, we're talking directly to you. We're sharing our hearts, and we're here to help. Yeah, our office number before we go on is 0756656063. That's head office number, and we'll send you to your state. We have offices in Melbourne, Adelaide, Sydney and Cairns, and on the Gold Coast. So we will send you to your state if you need help. Maddie, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here, and I know it is a little bit daunting, and it is a casual conversation. So I'm really looking forward to to walking through your journey, Matt. How did you end up here? I mean, you look like a fine young man, and I wouldn't stigmatise you as somebody who's been an ice addict.
Oh yeah. Well, I had a pretty normal upbringing. Did all the normal things people do out my way. I'm from 1,000 k's away in the bush. Mm-hmm. Sports, played all my sports. Was brought up really well, but as you know, when you get into high school, peer pressure. I started smoking a bit of dope. Had a few jobs here and there, from good ones to better ones. And then I started smoking a lot more dope when I was about 17, and now I ended up having to sell dope to support my habit.
Yep.
That went for a few years, and then I ended up being 59 kilos and in hospital,
Wow.
skinny as a rake.
From marijuana?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I used to smoke so much, yeah.
How was your mindset? Like a lot of people say marijuana makes you have schizophrenia and psychosis. Is that right?
Yeah. I still, even today, it's either from that or from the ice. I still have little things now where I think, oh yeah, I'm slowly getting over it, but just like little paranoid things that I just got to put in the back of my mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
And learn to control it and shut it off and saying that.
Yeah.
Not listening to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Learn to identify when it's just a bit of paranoia. Yeah.
So did that start like through marijuana smoking? Did you have that then?
Yeah, I think there was a bit there, but it was not noticeable, I don't think. Yeah. And then after the marijuana, I started taking painkillers, Nurofen Plus that you buy over the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For what? Were you in pain or
I don't.
just for something to do? Or?
I think I took it after the marijuana. But yeah, I just started taking them. That turned into a pretty bad habit. I was sending people into the chemist. I ended up having a 90-a-day habit of Nurofen Plus.
Yeah. 90 days, did you say?
No, 90 tablets a day. I'd send a couple of people in buying tablets for me.
Yep.
Yeah, you can't buy them over the counter now.
No.
Thank God. Yeah, but that turned into a pretty bad habit. And then I started going to Pendine Fort and higher, and then it ended up turning into oxys and fentanyl patches. And then, I put myself in detox about 3 times, trying to kick the habit because I wasn't living right, it wasn't working.
Wasn't working for you. But
yeah.
Matty, can I just ask, like, what was going on in your life? Like, what was your thought process when you decided to take 90 Nurofens in a day? Like, what were you thinking? Why were you, why?
I'm not too sure. I think it just made me feel good, I suppose. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And was life not that good for you at that time, or were you just bored, or
it's hard to say. It was a very long time ago. Yeah. I'm not too sure. I just started taking it after the marijuana. Yeah. For some reason, I might have an addictive nature. I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But I think I just liked the feeling, I suppose. Yeah.
And was that, like, were your friends engaging in the same kind of risky behaviour, I guess you want to call it, or activities? Were they doing it with you, or?
The marijuana, yep. Not so much the painkillers. Eventually, when I went on to the oxys and fentanyl and stuff like that, there was a lot of people that I knew that was on it as well. Yeah. And then I just got sick of being depressed all the time when I didn't have it. I just couldn't function really. And then I put myself in detox a few times. Couldn't. It just wasn't working. It was too strong of an addiction for me. I just felt too sick. And then the last time I took ice to stop that habit. So I thought I'd just take it after a detox. I'd take it for a bit, and then that was a terrible idea. And then that just started the ice addiction then, and then it ended up I was on both anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so you were taking the ice and the tablets.
It lasted for a bit, and then I started just taking the tablets as well. So I had, a few different addictions at the same time.
And that's what we call poly-using, guys. Most people start off with a bit of alcohol. The addiction nature starts to creep up, and you start to go to the next thing. Everyone thinks it's not going to happen to them. Oh, it won't happen to me. I'll just do I'm not going to go to that next level. But you do. And it's because the body gets used to substance, and you start taking more, and that isn't doing what it used to. So you jump, and because with ice you lose capacity to process and to think logic, rational decision making. It's very, very easy to poly-use when you pick up ice, because you will just have whatever's in front of you, because you aren't thinking. By that time, it's quite dangerous. Journey to walk on. Yeah. So what happened then? So then you started using ice, and did you do that with mates, or was that in the town? Originally, yeah. Who introduced you to that? Was it just like sitting around, some friends go, "Oh, here, have some of this"? Oh,
it's all over my town. Yeah. I won't obviously name who, but it's anywhere. Anyway.
Everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I just started selling to support my own habit, and then I ended up just taking it. I just had so much. Yeah.
So were you smoking it?
It was just getting ridiculous. Yeah, just smoking it. Yeah. Originally, I was just eating it. Yeah. Just having it like just a bit of goey or amphetamine.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I started smoking it.
Yep.
Yeah. And then I was a couple of grams a day habit. Yeah, and I had to sell that to support my habit. Yeah, I just all day and all night just selling drugs.
Yeah.
That become my life. Yeah.
It quickly goes there, doesn't it, Matt?
Yeah,
You have to, very, very quickly the drug takes over and that becomes your life. And that's all you do. That's all you do. You just do ice.
Yeah.
And you're selling it and you're waiting for the next, hit and the next score.
Yeah.
And what happened to your life? Like, were you living at home? Were you, with your parents, or were you on your own? Or
I ended up getting with a girl when I was on ice. I moved in with her. We had a kid, a little girl, and I was just selling drugs in the little flat thing. Yeah, just to support me habit. Yeah. I wasn't actually I wasn't there as a father at all, but yeah, I was just supporting my own habit. Yeah.
So do you have contact with your daughter today?
Yeah, I do now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. I did before.
Yeah.
But like, even though she lived in the house with me.
You weren't present?
No, I wasn't present at all. Yeah. I can't remember doing any dad things really. Yeah.
Yeah. Because when you're on ice, everything else disappears. Relationships disappear. Your work. I don't know. Were you working?
No, originally I was when I was a lot younger.
Yeah.
The drugs just got hold of me, so I wasn't. Little jobs here and there.
So what did you do? What was your ambition like when you were younger in terms of work and?
I've done a bit of mechanic work. I do a lot of at-home mechanics, and
awesome.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of that, a little bit of building. Done a pre-apprentice carpentry course, didn't complete it because I was affected by drugs, but yeah, that's what I wanted to be, a mechanic. I just love that.
Yeah, awesome. See, and ice stills that from you. It stills everything you wanted to be or do, and the capacity to do that, as well as your relationships and everything you own. It hasn't got a good outcome for anyone. And Matt, we often talk when we go into schools and we do education workshops. We talk to the youth about the end result of ice addiction. Really, if you get out, if you don't get out, you're going to end up in mental health institute. You're going to end up in prison, or you're going to end up dead. Very few people come out the other side, and mind you, not unscarred. There are scars, and it's a difficult journey and through recovery, especially the early, first couple of years. It takes 12 to 18 months before the frontal lobe of the brain is operating on its own again, and the chemical balance rebalances, the dopamine supply starts to operate normally again. It's a hard journey into recovery, so our heart is to help people understand all of that, in hope that they make better choices than what we did, and they don't need to embark on that,
Yeah.
So you started using then, you were using ice, and how long did that go on for?
It was only, it's hard to tell, my life's just been a mess. Maybe a year and a bit, maybe a bit more. Yeah, probably a bit more than that, yeah.
In ice world, there's no time.
Yeah.
You lose track of time, days. I can't even. I'm around 6 years clean almost, but I can't remember what day I landed back home on the coast exactly. And I just have to go back to my posts and go. What happened? It was like for 2 years. It was a big mess.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So.
Just up all night, not the date on the calendar is it doesn't mean nothing to you when you're in that world, really. Yeah.
Okay, we've got a question there, Matt. What scars have you had due to your addiction?
Like, are you talking mentally? Yeah.
Or financially, or relationship, or
Yeah.
physically.
Well, I've sort of failed as a father. I'm trying to rectify that now. I wasn't there at all, but mentally, I'm only still coming right now. Even there's so many days of being up all night and seeing things, hallucinating, getting paranoid, thinking stories in your head. It's really did a toll, and I've still got signs of it now that, like I said earlier, I have to identify when that's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, what about physically? Did you have any issues with your organs, like kidneys or lungs, or
Nah.
any motor skills?
Nah. Just I'm still. I feel like I'm not on the ball as much as I used to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even when I'm doing things like random things like writing and stuff like that, and building, like doing stuff like that, I'm not on the ball as I used to be.
Yeah.
It is slowly coming back, but yeah.
And your memory, how's your memory?
I
don't know about you, but for me, it's horrific.
Yeah, like it's better now, but I've been out of addiction for a while now. Yeah, but back when I was in it, it was terrible. Yeah, I couldn't remember where I put anything. Yeah.
How long have you been in? So you finished your program. You finished your recovery program. How long have you been in recovery now?
Well, I'm a couple of months into house supervision, so 12, maybe 14 months.
Awesome.
Plus 6 months in prison. So yeah.
So you ended up in prison, Matt.
Yeah.
How did that happen? What happened?
Because I was starting to sell so much drugs, like I said, a couple of grams a day sort of thing. And, I ended up, my phone was tapped, and I ended up with 51 drug charges.
Wow.
Or 49, a few other charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, it sent me to prison, thank Lord. Yeah.
Is that where you started to dry up?
Yeah.
Can I call it that?
Yeah. And then I started using drugs in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know I've heard a lot of guys in jail.
Not ice, but yeah.
Well, I've heard people in jail going, you better do it, otherwise, we're going to force you, and they kind of pushing it on.
Yeah.
Dudes in there and ice.
Yeah.
So it's what was that experience like?
Not real good. Just not seeing your family is probably the worst bit. Hanging out from drugs and that, but just realising what you've done, realising how, when you first go into this, the amount of sorry letters, you're right, really becomes real. How bad you've treated your family, even though they're stuck by you and stuff, like how bad of a person you've really been. Yeah, that's the worst bit, and you've got all the time in the world to think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the fact that you're not a free man,
Yeah.
to go and rectify these things or to do what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
I would say, was it scary?
Yeah.
If you stepped in there,
Yeah. The worst bit is, like you said, you've just got no freedom.
Yeah.
You can't just go. You can't just go home.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though you're better now, like you're not in the on the ice or on the painkillers or whatever, and you think you've learnt your mistake. You can't just go home when you want to.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing.
Yeah. And the thing is, that's on your record now, eh?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it closes a lot of doors in society, and it's very difficult to get back. Regain that trust and regain those relationships, but it is doable. And you're doing that.
Yeah.
And I honour and respect that, because I know the work that it takes to actually do that.
Yeah.
But once you've walked that journey and you've come out, you know the walk, and you know the pathways, and you know what you need to do to step into recovery, and that's what we're about, guys. We're about people that have had lived experience helping another one step out. Yeah, we do that as well as the education. So because we've already walked it, so you've been through that. So you know somebody else coming out of prison, you know what they need to do to get better because you've done it.
Yeah.
So you know it's easier to go, just don't do it, just don't do the drugs. It's not that simple in society, especially when you come from from a small town in the country.
Yeah.
Where it's there. I was out in central Queensland and, talking to a young fella, very much reminds me of you, Matt, and he's got everything going for him, great personality, and, this is the problem. The community's small, everyone that he knows is using, mate, you got to get out. You got to get out of there, to get clean and to get your life on track. Yes, and it is difficult to make that change. But you're worth it. You're worth a life that you want to live, and a life that's abundant and, with family, relationships and joy, and not just that entrapment of psychosis and jail and, people chasing you and violence and everything that comes with it, hey?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now for me, I've got to do it for my family. Stay clean. It's a no-brainer. If I want to do the right thing, it's pretty hard for me because my family lives a long way away. But I know I need to get right before I can be a father. I need to get right now. Put in the hard yards. Get right. And then I'll be able to be a father to my daughter, and make the rest of my family proud,
And I'm sure they are proud of you right now, because it's difficult to actually take that initial step, and then people go, I don't want to go to rehab and get, go there for 12 months. Man, what is 12 months out of your entire life?
Exactly.
Or a year and a half, or whatever it takes to set a template, to reprogram your values and your morals and what you want out of this world, Nobody starts on that pathway thinking, when I grow up I want to be an ice addict. It doesn't happen like that, That's not where your heart is at and where your dreams are at. And at the end of the day, there are people like you and like me and like Matt, that are entrapped in addiction. And many times they just need to know that they can come out and that we can help them in that pathway.
Yeah. Going to rehab. Actually, my whole experience was coming here has probably been the best thing that's ever happened to me.
That's awesome.
Coming to Victory House, sort of changing my life.
That's
It's
amazing.
been the best thing that ever happened to me. Me going to prison and ending up here. It's the best thing for everyone in my family, everything. It's saved me, it does. I wouldn't have got out of addiction if I didn't come here.
It's hard to do it alone, and unfortunately some people think that, I can do it alone. Okay, we've got another question. Some people think you can do it alone. It's extremely unlikely. Very few people actually manage to do that. Why? I mean, I didn't go into rehab. I didn't know where to look, and I didn't know how to do that. I was blessed that, I was put in a community of a church that people just loved me back to life, and surrounded me with people who had been through that journey, and they were able to, hook me up. I had a good friend, George Patricky, who hooked me up with a drug and alcohol counsellor, and I went to NA, and, I went to church, and my buddy, Mark Hembrough, who kept me busy on the keyboard, and every day when I wanted to die, he kept me picking me up every day and going, no, don't die today, die tomorrow. Today we're going to go and help so and so move, or so and so's got cancer, or we're going to go and visit her, and just kept my mind active and doing fun things, and until I could start to balance myself, But I wish we work with a lot of rehabs, and I see the work that they do in there, and I think to myself, man, it would have been so much easier doing it in rehab, because they got the tools.
Yeah.
And then they've done it before you, so they go, no, these are the tools here. Take hold of this, and you can get better.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, do you want to share a little bit about the rehab that you went to? Because I think they do an amazing job.
Yeah. Victory House is it's a therapeutic community. It's largely based on a consequence system. So we get tickets and we get consequence hours for things that we do wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Things like the light. If you leave the light on, if you leave a teaspoon in the sink, there's 160 rules.
Yeah,
there is. They'll cost you an hour. Other rules like talking to girls on your own, one-on-ones, taking your seatbelt off too early, cooking without gloves, they're 5 hours. And they might seem stupid, but in the end, it makes you think about the consequences if you go and use again.
Yep.
It just makes you think about every single little thing you do.
Mm.
So, like I said, if you go to use again, you'll think you're going to lose your family. You're going to go back to prison and you're going to end up dead.
Yep.
So that's largely how the program works, plus other models as in assertions and issues.
And that is so important, Matt, because life is, if whatever you do in life, whether if it's positive, you get a positive outcome. You get, a consequence is positive. If you do something that's in the negative, you're going to get a negative consequence. And everything, all choices are based with consequence. They come with consequence. So when we learn, that if we don't follow these rules in life, we're going to pay the consequence of that. And. Yeah. It's our choice at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
We can choose to, to go down that path, but the price you have to pay sometimes is really huge.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
And so, what's really, what have you found most awesome about being in Victory Recovery House?
It's probably getting a new family.
Yep.
My church family, my pastors, all the boys at the house, we all. It's a really good. It's really hard because these tickets we have to give them to each other. So it comes with a lot of. You have to keep your brother accountable.
Yep.
By picking him up on all these things, picking him up on all the issues that he might have, bringing things to him. Mm-hmm. It's really hard at first, but in the end, we're a pretty strong family. Yeah.
It teaches you boundaries as well, doesn't it, Matt?
Yeah.
And you can't be responsible for somebody else's action as much as you love them, and you don't want them to suffer the consequence. They chose that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the same goes for our families out there. With our family support, we teach families about boundaries, and about that you can't make the choice for your loved one. You can give them, the resources and say, I love you, I don't love what you're doing, and I'm not having that in this house. And when you're ready for change, we're ready to walk with you into recovery. It is difficult, but really we can't be responsible for other people's actions.
Yeah.
And that's what, I think rehab, a good rehab will work with you on all these things, and also you learn to form relationships of trust again.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah. Well, in the world that we've all lived in, everyone, you can't really trust anyone, and when you come to a church in a place like here, it's good. You just know that they're always trying to do good for you and help you. Like, they're not trying to manipulate you or get something out of you. So, in that sense, it's helped me start to trust people again. Yeah.
You've got to find your niche, because there are people out there, that want to do the right thing, that want to help each other, and it's finding that family that you fit into, and together you can actually go from glory to glory and grow together, and in a trust environment.
Yeah.
That we can. We all fall. We all make mistakes. We all all of us are imperfectly perfect, as I say. But we're there with our imperfections. We make a whole. We're all there to help each other and act like bumpers, as family.
Yeah.
And so it's an important part of recovery, I find. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have brothers and sisters?
Yeah.
And they're back home?
Yep. Yeah, they're all back home. Younger brother, younger sister. Yeah.
And have you spoken to them since you've been in recovery?
Yep. Yeah,
awesome.
they come up for when I graduated, or my little sister did anyway, and my parents. Yeah. It kills me to not be around them and stuff at the moment, but I need to get myself right so I can be there for them forever and not just the short term. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, like I said, a little bit of time in recovery, 12 months, 2 years, whatever it takes, and everyone's different. So, you can't say, you're going to be in there for 12 months exactly. Everyone is different. So, it takes what can take somebody, quicker. It takes longer for others to work through different parts of the program.
Yeah.
So, what was the hardest thing out of the program for you?
I would say the booking system it's pretty hard to change your mindset from if you dob someone in or say something, you're a dog. It's pretty hard to change that mindset.
Yeah.
And just keeping your brothers accountable and trying to think it's come from the right heart. Like I had a few boys that are left, and earlier on, like I feel like if we all would have done program on each other, they probably would have stayed. So them things have helped me. Like now, I think if I'm not going to help someone, if I'm not going to hold someone accountable for something they do, you're just enabling them, and the consequence system's just not working. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's probably been the hardest part of the program. Yeah.
So in the early stages of recovery, Matt, were you suffering a lot of depression?
Yeah.
And suicide thoughts and stuff like that? Did you go in there detoxed already, or did you detox in there?
I was in prison.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. But normally you got to be 7 days detoxed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I was still very depressed for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. It slowly got better. Yeah. Very, very slow.
Do you guys cook for yourself?
Yeah.
Do you take it in turns? Is it like a roster system?
Yep. There's rosters. Yeah, 2 people cook, 2 people wash up. Yeah.
Did you cook before?
Nah. No.
So who teaches you?
A few things, like random things, but I don't know. It's just passed down. The program's really good set out like that. Everyone teaches everyone else.
Yeah.
It's good like that.
So they teach you what to cook and how to cook, or there's a menu?
Yeah, we have a bit of a menu and just a list of ingredients. But when someone first comes in, you'll put him on with someone that's cooked before.
Yep.
Yeah. But we all learn really quick. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. The program's really good like that. It teaches you how to live like normal people.
What's normal, Matt?
Yeah.
You get to cook, and do you get to go to the gym and
we go to the gym. Yeah, we can go there every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what do you do during the day? Like, what's your day look like?
Yeah, on a Monday we we do study all day. Yep, and then on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. We have, it's called Giving Back, so we work in our community pantries. Yeah, the church has a few pantries, and that's our way of giving back. Sometimes some boys will be setting up things in the church, and but and then on a Friday we have our big issues group and consequence group. Yeah, where we bring... we work out the tickets, and we bring...
Is it streaming still?
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry guys, somebody's trying to ring my phone while we're filming. Guys, please don't ring my phone while we're filming. You can send us a message, or you can call after 8 o'clock. So Matt, where were we? Sorry. On Fridays it's...
Fridays is the behaviour group, and the consequence group.
Yep.
Yeah, behaviour groups where we bring issues to each other about behavioural things.
Yep.
Can range from things from talking too much to being aggressive when getting tickets, and just normal things that normally don't get picked up in the outside world.
Yeah.
We really help each other. The program's not just for drugs, getting off, or for addiction.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a complete
mentoring thing, isn't it?
it's
Really.
complete change. Yeah.
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 Resetting the melon, as Josh calls it. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So the first stage of our program is it's the biggest behavioural change. It's where you learn to submit instead of running our own show, doing what we want, as we all have. And the second stage is you start to get more responsibility, and you try to be a good example and teach the new people that are coming up.
Yep.
And stage 3, you go into leadership and you start having more of a role as works coordinator or in the office, just helping in the program. Yeah.
And there's 4 stages?
Yeah, the 4th stage. You can choose to work while you're in the program. So you'll be functioning normally but still sleeping at the house and staying accountable.
Yep.
So, all the other boys, everyone's onto each other, things like that, keeping each other accountable. And then, but if you choose, like I have, you can stay in the program and either house supervision or going to just giving back to the program, really. Yeah.
And you'll know when you're ready. You'll know when you're ready to to move out of that space. How do you feel about, I would think it'll be a bit scary to come out of the program and back to the environment. I moved interstate, so I just kind of trying to get my head around, because I'm sure people at home have the same questions. If they go into recovery and then come back home, what are you going to put in place to not to go back there, into that world?
If I'm going to be honest, you just don't go back into that world for a while. That's the safest bet. The statistics aren't good for people that just go back into the same world, talk to the same people. I think the best way is to stay in with find a local church. And stay connected that way, even when you do leave rehab.
Absolutely. And with AARC, all presenters and people that are in recovery that come in and work with us, we make sure that they're on a tripod system of support. And what that looks like is that you have a sponsor or a buddy. Somebody that you can chat with, that you're accountable to, that is your friend, and that like in the house, somebody that, hey mate, that's not really okay to behave in that fashion because I love you, the other part of that tripod is regular meetings, whether you're going to NA, AA, CMA, or a church, a place where there's a community of people that can love you back to life. That is really important part of that tripod system. And the third thing is to keep your drug and alcohol counsellor visits. And so it is important to have that tripod system of support. People that don't embark on that, are highly unlikely to keep that recovery in place. It's easy to fall within the first few years. So we do encourage everybody to to think about what's the plan when I come out of rehab, or you take yourself out of that environment to step into recovery, and then when you come back, what's the plan? How are you going to safeguard that? What's going to help you not relapse? And our organisation is a great way to be able to work and give back to the community in an area that you can't forget where you've been, and you can actually impart that journey to help others not go there. So whether it's a workplace or a school or a hospital or prisons, we do work with child safety, youth justice. So there's many areas that we we get to do the work that we do, but it's a great platform because we're all a family and we keep each other accountable.
Yeah.
So it is important to have that in place. So, Maddie, if you had to share one thing out there to the people that are watching, if you had to say one thing about your journey through ice addiction, how would you describe it? In a nutshell.
It's sick. It's sick how much it changes a person. You lose all respect for yourself. You lose all your morals. You're a completely different person. No one will notice it. Yeah, it really brings the evil out into you. Yeah, it makes people just change completely. Yeah, and I would suggest don't think for 1 second that you can just do it a couple of times or do it once or something, because it's not that easy. Yeah.
And that's our message tonight, and our message overall with ARC. Not even once is our message. It's not worth it. It's not worth the price of thinking that you can, try this and just embark on it and come out. You're probably not going to come out, and if you do, it's not unscarred. There's a lot of damage and a lot of heartache and struggles along the way to be able to get out of that entrapment. And I know myself, I would never, go there again. And I'm like, we've got to warn our youth. We've got to, they're so vulnerable. We've got kids up North Queensland as young as 8 using ice, in Gold Coast 11. It is, it's not okay. I'm not okay with that. I know where they've been, and I know the damage that it's left in most of our lives. And I think a young child like that, the scars, if they come out, is huge. We need to get in front of these kids through lived experience. We can actually share that journey with an evidence-based practice presentation, and we integrate. We don't just talk about psychosis. Let me tell you about psychosis. I don't know. Did you go through psychosis, Matt?
Yeah.
What was that like? What? If you can explain, some people watching don't know.
Not real good. You're when you're in it, you're oblivious that you are in it.
Yeah.
That's the bad thing. You don't realise until sometimes even 6 months after that the things that you were seeing and the things that you thought was true was actually not.
Yeah.
That's the worst bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just do the stupidest things and you think they're dumbest stuff, and you don't realise it at the time, and anyone can try to tell you that it's not true, but you just don't believe them when you're in that.
Yeah. You think everything's that you're cool, that you look good, and that the problem's out there with the people, not with you. And that's a scary place, because it's a very dangerous place to live. I didn't ask you, Matt. What? How did you actually make the choice to stop using, like to go into rehab? I know you went to prison, but in there was drugs. So you must have made a choice at some point in there, saying, "I've had enough." What happened?
Yeah. Mainly it was the rehab. If I didn't, because I was still using drugs in jail. Yeah. If I didn't come to rehab, that's the only thing that did stop me, to be honest.
How did you get into rehab? What was the transition? What made you go to rehab after you got out of jail?
I knew I had to go to rehab because I actually got bailed to rehab.
Okay.
Yeah, that was
awesome.
I got bailed to rehab, and but I already knew I had to go to rehab. But to be honest, I just got bailed out of rehab because it'll get you out of jail.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Yeah.
That's what happened with DJ.
It's the best thing that's ever happened to me.
One of our other presenters. Yeah. He was like, no, I'll take rehab instead of jail.
Yeah.
And in 3 months' time, down rehab, he thought, I want this.
Yeah.
I really want this. So
yeah.
I want to talk about that. There's a lot of people out there saying, we should, if somebody's in an ice addiction like that where they can't think for themselves, we should be able to, instead of going to jail, they should be able to have an option to go to rehab as mandatory, you know. What are your thoughts around that?
There's a lot of crime that happens around taking ice. I'm not too sure how that would go. There'd be so many grey areas around that, to be honest. But it would be good. There is some type of program out there already. It might be a merit program, might be up here. But I do see what you're saying, and it would be good for the people that you can just tell it's just been drugs or ice to go to rehab first. Yeah, it would be good. Yeah.
I think that, if obviously if they've killed somebody or, if they've done a major crime, you've got to pay the price for the crime, right? So that's a consequence.
Yeah.
But, if it's their first offence and if they've got an opportunity to go into recovery, I think that it's worth a shot, and I think that the courts should, and they do, I know we work with them up here, they do look at the overall picture and generally would rather send somebody to rehab as opposed to jail, because the jail is full of people that have been entrapped in addiction themselves, and it's not a good place.
The only problem is there's not enough rehabs for everyone to go to. That's the only problem there.
And that's the thing, Matt. We actually, a couple of years ago spoke to our health minister, and he says, Andrea, how many rehabs do we continue to open? I see the problem. And I said, well, that's exactly our point. We're trying to stop people embarking on that journey, not even stepping into it, because from lived experience we can show them what that was like and what the scars and the journey and what that left us with. They don't need to go there. So I find that the youth really engage with us because we're not teachers, we're not authority telling them don't do drugs. That's actually our opening line. I'm not even here to tell you not to do drugs. And they, what? And I'm just here to show you some stuff that I wish was shown to me. And I hope that you make some better choices for yourself. Is that okay? And I get their permission to work with them. And then, before we know it, they're engaging in a conversation and asking questions and saying, yeah, but one of my friends tried this drug and, he said he was going to try ice and it didn't look like it was anything bad. And before you know it, you have this conversation, because it's about what was the thought process, when you decided to pick up.
Yeah.
I mean, I clearly remember all the things that went through my mind when I said yes.
Yeah.
I didn't have any knowledge about what the consequences of taking that was going to be. I knew drugs aren't good for you, everybody knows that.
Yeah.
But we all go, hey, I know somebody that took some drugs and they're still alive. It won't happen to me.
Yeah.
I'm stronger than that. I'm not going to, go down that path. It's just once. It's just a recreational. It's just, and you do this conversation inside, which is based on untruth. It really is, from my personal experience. It's very, very quick.
Yeah. It catches you before you know it.
Yeah.
It only takes a few times, and then you don't want to come down off it. To be honest, that's what happens. The feeling is so feels like everything's fine, and as we know, it's not. But you don't want to come back from that. Yeah.
Because the negative, the depression, anxiety, psychosis, anger, all of that stuff is fueled when you're coming down. So, you just want to pick up and get stabilised.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I'm going to go over to Leanne and see if we have any questions. Do you have any questions, Leanne, from
What strategies do you use to look after yourself now?
I just try to think of what I'm gonna, what I lose if I go back to drugs again, and to be honest, it's just selfish if I do. Like if I want to treat my family the way I have, if I want to be a father for my kid, and also I don't want to let down the people that have helped me from my church and my rehab. Yeah.
Awesome. And you're worth it. You're worth it. You're worth a life you love. You really are, and not of self-destruction. Every single person has been created, with love and for something, and live it. Don't self-destroy, and rob yourself from that experience of good life that can be so amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Any other questions that we got? No? If you have any questions, please pop them on. We've got a couple of minutes left to the end of the show. Guys, if we're speaking to you and you are that person that's in addiction and that you'd like to make a change and make a better choice for yourself, we are here to help. Yeah, we all in all the state offices have been through addiction, through recovery, and we want to help you and walk with you and make a plan to help you step into that place. We can't make that choice for you, but we can certainly be there to give you numbers and to help you with the steps to take and show you the way. But you've got to actually pick up the phone and you've actually got to have that conversation with us and meet up, and so we can help you create that pathway out. Yeah. So if we're speaking to you, the number to call is 0756656063, or you can contact us on our Facebook or our webpage, www.australianantiicecampaign.org.au. We don't only talk about ice, we talk about other drugs, being doorways, the negative consequences of drugs as a whole. There's always negative consequences associated with drugs, and if it's not one thing, if it's not a prescribed drug that has side effects, it's other drugs. In marijuana has got psychosis. You get psychosis and paranoia from it. Kills brain cells. There's all consequences with all drugs. Ice particularly is very, very quick to start eating away at your organs, your vascular system, at your neurological pathways in your brain, and affecting your hippocampus, along with your speech and nervous system. Myself, I've been left with, heart. I see a cardiologist every 6 months. It overworks your heart. You end up with kidney failure and holes in your brain. So that's the exciting news about the journey on ice. So that's just my story. Other people have other physical and long-term consequences, which we haven't had a lot of research and study long-term to say what else. It eats away at your bone density, your vascular system. A lot of people have strokes. So it's not, the pipe doesn't come to you with ingredients written on it, and it doesn't come with side effects written on it. It's just, handed to you as, oh, this is awesome. And you don't see the other side until it's too late. So I guess, our message to you is not even once. And we do have...
Last question. John T.
Okay, John T has asked the question, what made you decide to get help?
For my first going into detoxes, or that's probably better. Just being depressed all the time, mostly.
Being what, sorry?
Depressed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
this is going back when I first wanted to get help from getting off the painkillers and stuff like that. I was sick of living depressed all the time, not going anywhere, not talking to anyone. Yeah, it was just sick of that life, really. Yeah.
And did somebody give you a number, or did you search for?
Oh, when I was in prison, are you talking? Yeah. Oh, which one are you talking? Are you talking about
when
before?
you were depressed?
Yeah.
What did you seek out? Like, how, to get help to go into detox?
Oh yeah.
How did you know you needed detox?
Oh, I just googled it. I just know I needed it. Yeah. I just had to do it, really. Yeah.
And was there detox out where you were living?
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, there was. Good.
Yeah.
Good. A lot of towns don't have detox or rehab facilities, but we can connect you with your closest one. And there may be a little bit of a wait because there are a lot of people wanting to get help. But they are available. We've flown people from WA to Melbourne to get into rehab, wherever it needs to. If you want recovery, it is there, and it is available, and you are worth it. So it's a matter of sitting back and looking at your life and saying, is this what I want for the rest of my life? And it's getting worse every day. Unless you make a change, you're not going to, you're going to continue down that path, and it's going to continue to get worse. And the change you need to make is to pick up the phone and say, hey, I need help. Yeah, can you help me out of this space? And we are eager to help you. Yeah. So that's it. All right, we're going to wrap up the show. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the audience at home?
Victory House has just opened up another house.
Awesome.
We have plenty of beds, so they can give us a call.
Awesome.
On 0487 255 87.
Fantastic.
Say that again.
87 255 87.
So Leanne will be putting that up on the Facebook page. The Victory House have opened up another house, and they do have beds available. So if we're talking to you out there, if you are thinking of recovery and thinking, I've had enough of this life and I want to make a change, pick up the phone and call. You can call AAIC or you can call Victory House. They have to be detoxed before they go into the house.
Yep.
AAIC will be able to help you step into a detox and make that transition. So that our number here is 075665 6063. So recovery is possible. Yeah, we're sitting here saying that we've been through recovery and you're worth it. Yeah, and I want to teach you our really cool yo-yo in the house moves that one of the kids out in central Queensland helped make it up. It goes not even once. Guys, not even once. Good night from us here. Thank you, Maddie, for joining us on the show. God bless you with the future and the recovery. We look forward to being part of that life with you on that journey as friends and I guess, brothers and sisters who've been through the walk as well, and we're here to help each other, and help more people.
Yep.
So thank you so much for being on the show. Really appreciate you sharing.
Yep, thank you.
Good night, guys. We'll see you next Thursday. From Cairns? No, from the Gold Coast. Have a good night.